Melania needs to come out with a statement and be like, I was under duress. They made me do it. I was under duress.
Oh, I'd say I'm reasonable.
Okay, that's completely unreasonable.
I'm reasonable.
I'm unreasonable.
You have no idea just how reasonable I have been.
Reasonable synonyms are sensible, rational, practical, fair, appropriate.
Fitting, suitable, logical.
All things I would definitely say describe me.
Do they describe you?
Welcome to I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson.
I'm reasonable.
Hey. Welcome to another episode of I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson. I know you guys, I look great. I know. I say that very humbly. I had to do new headshots today. And so this is professional make. I've had this makeup on all day, but it's professional makeup. So if you're like, oh my God, look at Zainab got dressed for the podcast, because I know some of y'all be thinking like this is the only thing I do in a day, which is wild. I've been up since 5:30 this morning. It is 11:57 p.m. on Tuesday. And I've been up since 5:30. First of all, I woke up and I jumped for 20 minutes. I'd normally go for a run, but I knew I didn't have the time in the day because normally my runs take anywhere from like 40 minutes to an hour, right? Like if I'm running anywhere from 4.5 to 6.5 miles, right? But I'm like, I don't have time for that, right? Especially if I'm like sluggish, I'm like, I don't have time for that, right? Also, I wasn't sure what the temperature was. I didn't feel like being cold this morning. I needed to be cozy for longer than, So I jumped rope for 20 minutes. I did 2 sets of 10 minutes. And then I did a whole bunch of prepping because like I said, I had to get everything done before I had a writing meeting. I had a writing meeting at 10 o'clock in the morning, but I had to prep wigs. I had to prep wardrobe. I didn't have a creative director, so I had to style it and do it all myself. And then I had a meeting at like 10 a.m. And then the makeup artist came at 11 a.m. and then the photo shoot started at like 1 p.m. And when I had a break in between the photo shoot, I had to edit an audition that I put on tape and I had to send that into my agents. And then my commercial agent called me and was like, hey, did you see this audition? And I was like, I did not see it. Then I looked at it and I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to get that in by today. And they was like, could you please figure out a way to do it? Like it'll be a big commercial. Could you please figure out how to do it? And I'm like, and I already have, you guys, just so you know, I already have resistance to commercial castings, which I'm trying to let go of. I'm really trying to let go of that. Then I do this whole photo shoot and she comes to my apartment. I don't have an apartment. She comes to my house and we have to move like furniture and stuff like that. And then it's just been a day. Then after that, I met, someone for dinner and then I got back and then I didn't know what I was going to talk about on this episode because I wasn't prepared today. I had no idea what I was going to talk about. I had no idea what I was going to try to be reasonable about, what topics I was going to bring to you guys, my reasons. And so then I had to sort of sit with the things that I saved in my phone since we last spoke. I checked out social media. I checked out some news sites. I'm like, what do I want to talk about? Then I was like, oh my God, I have to check in with the reasons and tell them how proud I am of them for attempting to do the water fast, complete the water fast, like to support the other reasons that were doing the water fast. Like I felt really good Sunday. Like I saw somebody left a message saying, I went to sleep so early. I got through it, Zainab, but I'm definitely going to sleep at 7:52 p.m. And let me just tell you something. I went to sleep as soon as my stomach started growling at like 9:30, 9:45 Sunday night. And I said, okay, I got about another hour. And I was working. I was like, I got about another hour. And I'm going to either need to go to sleep or I'm going to need to eat something. And so I took my ass to sleep. What did you guys break your fast with? Everybody that did the 24-hour water fast where you didn't consume anything except water for 24 hours, what did you break your fast with? Please put it in the comments. I'm so curious to know. The first thing I had, obviously, when I woke up, I drank like a bunch of water. Do you guys hear I sound a little bit better, right? I realized what it was. It was a sinus infection, and I think I'm at the tail end of it. But I drank, and I actually think, low key, I think the water fast helped. You want to know why? Because with a sinus infection, there's a lot of mucus, like so much mucus. Coming out your nose, coughing through your mouth, like just so much mucus, right? It just feels like, I almost thought I had pneumonia because it did feel like there was liquid like in my chest. It just felt like there was constant liquid in my chest. I don't need nobody in the comments to tell me what I had. Okay? Please don't. But I think the reason why the 24-hour water fast helped is because I wasn't feeding it any sugar. Like I wasn't feeding the mucus anything to grow. And not that when I'm sick, I'm eating cakes and candy or anything like that. I'm definitely not. I mean, I feel like I said this to you guys last week. I don't even feel comfortable kind of like eating out when I'm not feeling well, you know? Because it's like, you know, when you're trying to get better, you want to know exactly what you're putting in your body, right? But I do eat a lot of fruit. I eat bread. I eat potatoes. And those things have natural sugars in them, you know? And I think just me the body heals. When you fast, the body heals itself. It's not worried about breaking down any of the food. It's like, oh, okay, finally, this girl stopped putting things in her freaking colon. She stopped putting things in her stomach. We don't have to work on that. We could work on this goddamn, respiratory system. And so then the day that I woke up after the fast, I felt so much better. I drank a gang of water. And then the first thing I ate was a persimmon. I love persimmons. The first time I had a persimmon in my life was like 2 years ago. I never had a persimmon. It's almost like Brussels sprouts. Like, I remember on TV, kids being like, they ain't want to eat their Brussels sprouts. And I used to be like, what is that? Like, I never seen a Brussels sprout. My mother not that I could remember, I never had a Brussels sprout when I was a kid. And then I had one as an adult, like the first time I had Brussels sprouts. And I was like, this is what the kids was complaining about? Brussels sprouts are delicious. Every single way I've ever had Brussels sprouts, steamed, broiled, pan fried, seared, they all good in salads. They're all like, Brussels sprouts are quite delicious. So I was like, what's wrong with kids? They don't like two of the most, kids don't like, I'm saying it like I was never a child. Kids don't like two of the most delicious vegetables out there, broccoli and Brussels sprouts. Broccoli is so good. You could eat broccoli without any seasoning. You could just steam broccoli or throw broccoli in like a pan real quick with a tiny bit of olive oil, and broccoli gonna be good as, like, broccoli is so good. And in my opinion, Brussels sprouts too. Don't get me wrong, I like a balsamic Brussels. I like a flavor Brussels sprout. But if oh my God, if the Brussels sprouts are tender on the outside, like crispy on the outside, but tender on the inside, and a little bit of olive oil and some sea salt. Anywho, so I had a persimmon. Why am I talking about Brussels sprouts? Oh, because persimmons, I love persimmons, and I never even knew they existed. I never even knew it was a thing in the world up until 2 years ago. I ordered delivery from this like sort of like fancy vegan restaurant in Los Angeles called Crossroads. And I ordered like brunch or something one day, like for delivery. And I don't know. I don't know. Is it really brunch if you're not at the place eating it? Is brunch just the time of the day? But it was definitely brunch food, because I had a mixture of like lunch items and breakfast items. Like I had French toast, I had a kale salad, I had veggie sausage, and then the sort of like they garnished the French toast with persimmons, but I didn't know it was called a persimmon. It just was this like orange thing. And I was like, what is this? It looked like a tangerine, but I ain't got to peel it. But it kind of looked like a tomato, but it's real firm. Like, I was like, what is this? And then I took a picture and I Googled it, and it was like, it's a persimmon and whatever the fruit, whatever. And then I ate it, and I was like, this is one of the best things I have ever tasted in my life. And what's crazy is it low key tastes a little bit like, it got a little bit of a cantaloupe kind of vibe to it. But y'all, I hate cantaloupe. I hate cantaloupe so much that if anything even comes close to cantaloupe, I cannot eat it. You know how sometimes you have a fruit salad and you just pick out the fruit you don't like? If cantaloupe or honeydew touches any other fruit, I cannot eat that fruit. Because it's such a powerful taste. Now the orange tastes like cantaloupe. Now the strawberry tastes like cantaloupe. Now the watermelon tastes like cantaloupe. Now the grapes taste like cantaloupe. So I might as well just eat cantaloupe, which tastes disgusting to me. And I only ever tasted it really quick one time in my life. I ain't telling the story again. I feel like I told the story on this podcast. Anyway, it low key kind of got a little bit of like the cantaloupe thing going on, but for some reason I love a persimmon. Like, love them. Only when they're firm though. I don't like a soft persimmon. When it starts to get soft, that's when it get real cantaloupe-y. And I don't like that. But a firm one, so that was what I ate. I ate a persimmon. And then I had some tea. I had sort of like a ginger lemon honey echinacea infused tea. Of course, I drank more water. And then I had so much to do. So finally, when I ate like sort of later in the morning on Monday, I had a toasted gluten-free cinnamon raisin bagel with avocado and an heirloom tomato. But this heirloom tomato was green. I never had a green. The only time I ever had a green tomato. Okay, so there's this deli in New York. It's on Houston. I think it's on Houston. It's called Katz. It's my parents' favorite place to eat in New York. My absolute if my mom, like, I don't know if y'all saw me post that clip where I was like, my mom, I called my mom gay and she got mad at me. Obviously she's not gay, but she got mad at me because she, my mom is like an older Muslim woman. So she ain't like me, and she's not gay. So she ain't really like me calling her gay. And I was being just like silly, And sometimes when you joke on people and they get mad, it make you joke on them more. Like, the superpower to when somebody joke on you is like, you just gotta be like, that's all you got. It really diffuses like their power. So the more mad my mom got, the more I was like, hey, you get, you know what I'm saying? But if she would have been like, Zainab, what are you talking about? Then I would have been like, I guess I ain't talking about nothing. Anywho, yeah, we was in New York because my mom wanted cats for her birthday. If my siblings is still live in New York, if they trying to do something nice for my mom, they will go to Cats, order my mom food from Cats, and they will wrap it up in like a cold bag, a temperature, like a temperature bag, and they will overnight deliver it to my mom. Anywho, so at Cats, they have pickled tomatoes, and they normally be like the green tomatoes pickled, and they are so good. Now, I don't know if they green before they pickle them or if the pickling process turns them green. Don't come for me, y'all. I don't know. Anyway, on my toasted cinnamon raisin avocado bagel with avocado, I put an heirloom tomato, but it was green. I normally get like the really red orange, like it looked like a blood orange. I get that type of heirloom tomato. It almost looked purple. But this time, the one that appealed to me most, it was green. So I got it. It was very firm, like really crispy. And that's what I wanted. And then I, of course, sprinkled some, like rough sea salt on top, and then a bunch of crushed red pepper. Ugh, it was so good. And then what else did I eat that day? I can't remember. I definitely ate more stuff. I think I had I think I had like chili or something like that for dinner. Yes, I definitely had chili. Because that was yesterday, right? Monday? Yeah, that was yesterday. I had chili. So what did y'all eat? What did y'all break y'all fast with? Let me know. Let me know if you plan on doing it on March 1st, as much as like I keep saying, it'll be Ramadan. So I will be abstaining for everything. Now, if y'all need me to check in with y'all on that day, if you decide to do it, let me know, because I will still check in with you guys to, you know what I'm saying? To just give you guys some moral support, you know? And I'll probably need a little bit of some moral support too, because I won't have food or water, but I won't be talking for a long time. Because the thing about not having water is your mouth will be dry as you can't be talking that much. All my friends know, like, Zainab is limiting conversations during daylight hours. I only talk if it's necessary. Also, when that stomach is empty, that stomach acid be coming to the top, and you be like, whew, that breath sound like your stomach is empty, girl. I told this story. I tell the story all the time. When my little sister was like, during Ramadan, I was talking one day. It was we dead smack in the middle of Ramadan, summer hours. This when Ramadan was in the summer. Freaking 16 hours of fasting, no water, no food, no nothing, just you and prayer and God, right? And I'm in Michigan. I'm at my mom's house. And I'm talking to one of my little sisters, and she's one of my siblings that always be so close on you. She don't give you that's the reason why it didn't hurt my feelings, but that's the irony of it. It's like, girl, you in my face. I ain't in your face. I ain't come up to you talking close in your face. She one of my siblings that when she get close to you, she be sniffing you. She gotta touch you. She one of them types. I'm the complete opposite. I do not want to smell you. I do not want to touch you. I do not I will, but I don't want to. I just, I'll let you touch me, but I'm totally fine with us not touching at all. I'm totally fine with us just sitting on the couch and sharing the same energy, sharing the same space. But I don't got to be cuddled up with you. Not as your sibling. Obviously, if you my love interest, it's a little bit different. But even still, I remember I was on a date with a guy and he just kept sniffing me. And I don't mean breathing in to smell me. I mean, literally, nose was on my neck. Nose was on my shoulder. Nose was everywhere where he could put his nose. I'm like, valet, we was waiting for his car at the valet, and the valet was looking at me like, baby, blink twice. Baby girl, blink twice if we need to get you out of here. And I was like, anyway, she in my face, and I'm talking to her on Ramadan, and she was like, oh my God, Zainab, did you not eat? Wait, you have to eat. I was like, I don't have to eat. I'm not eating. It's Ramadan. And she was like, then you have to stop talking. And as I told you guys in this story before, I took my behind upstairs and I came back downstairs when I could eat. See, the thing is, and then I'm gonna get to the topics, because what am I talking about, right? I grew up in Harlem, and not way back, but there was a time where 125th Street in Harlem was thriving. You go to 125th Street for everything. You go to 125th Street to get your bootleg DVDs. You go to 125th Street to get your black soap. You know what I'm saying? You go to 125th Street to get your shea butter. You go to 125th Street to get jewelry. You go to 125th Street to get everything you need, right? For cheap. You go to 125th Street to get all of your sort of Black pride stuff, all of your, your Afrocentric jewelry and all of that type of stuff, right? But what I will also get, you go to 125th Street to get your incense, But what I will also get, what people would also get, and my parents in particular will also get from like 125th Street, or sometimes they would get it from like the man who would sell it outside of the masjid. But you get those you chew it like the Africans chew it, and it cleans your teeth. I don't know what it's called, but it just looked like a stick. Like it looked like a brown kind of like stick. And you just chew on it, and it keeps your breath fresh and it cleans your teeth. And so a lot of people, when I was growing up, would use that during Ramadan because you're not eating anything. It's like you chewing on it, but you're not eating it, you know? Ew. Why am I saying all of this? If y'all are going to fast, if y'all are going to do the 24-hour water fast March 1st, let me know in the comments, and I will at least go live with you guys for a few minutes on March 1st. But then again, of course, I will resume April 1st. But I'm so proud of you guys. Give yourselves, a pat on the back, because especially if you didn't think that you could do it and you got through it. And if you were only able to do a few hours in a day, if you were like, you know what, I can do up until 3:00 in the afternoon, then that's good. A win is a win. A win is a win. Okay. What are we talking about? So I wrote stuff down. I normally be on my computer, but I ain't had time for that. Y'all liking Charity. I see in the comments, y'all like, thank you for introducing me to Charity. She's so wonderful. Her entire album, everything. Let me just tell you. Somebody want to take me to her show in March? If somebody want to take me, I don't even know if I'm being in the country. When am I going to Australia? March 26th. Oh no, I leave to go to Australia March 23rd. But my first show was on the 26th, I think. If I'm I think it's during Ramadan is her show. When I listen to like love songs and stuff, I listen to love songs when I'm happy, and I listen to very egotistical rap songs when I'm feeling sad, right? And sometimes I hear love songs that are so good, I wish that I was in the situation so I could really feel a song. Although if ever I'm dealing with a broken heart, I'm never going to listen to a broken-hearted song. I can't do it. It's like insult to injury. I can't do it. It's like I'm already sad, and then you want to sing a song that's going to make me just really live in my sadness. No. I need somebody. I need somebody to get me up out of this. You know what I'm saying? So Charity, when I be listening to Charity songs, I be like, dang, part of me wish I was in this situation so I could really just, you know what I'm saying? Like, But also, don't nobody want to be brokenhearted, right? Don't nobody want to have, love is good till it ain't. All right. Assaulting female comics. So, I know that's like a hard left, right? 2 videos. The reason why I'm talking about female comics rather being assaulted is because I recently saw 2 videos from 2 different female comedians, one who I know personally very well, and the other one I never saw before. I don't know her, but a comedian friend of mine just randomly sent me the video. A male comedian of mine randomly sent me the video. And so one comedian, a lot of people know, Sakara Williams, very, very funny comedian. She was on a podcast with comedians B.T. Kingsley, Justin Hires, and London Brown. I actually recently taped that podcast too, so you probably will see an episode with me, and I will not be talking about the same things Sakara was talking about because I didn't have the same experience. But she revealed on that podcast, I'm so sorry I don't know the name of their podcast, but I gave you enough information to look it up. But she revealed on a podcast, and they posted a clip. They posted this clip where she revealed that she had been sexually assaulted while on the road by another comedian, a male comedian. And, women get assaulted all the time. People get assaulted all the time. Especially, I've heard so many awful stories in entertainment, in comedy specifically, in music specifically. I was so surprised a couple of years ago when Lady Gaga came out and was like, yeah, I was in the studio recording a song, and the artist that I was working with, or the producer I was working with, raped me. And I was like, God damn, Lady Gaga can't even lay down a record? Lady Gaga can't even lay down a record without somebody coming in there trying to take her vagina? I mean, God, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so this is not new, unfortunately, right? But Takara she got a lot of negative feedback in her comments because people were like, say his name, like out the person. And and she chose not to. And that's her right. That's her right. And then, so the next video that I saw was from a comedian who was talking about a comedy club that I have never visited. The comedy club is called The Comedy Shop in New York City. It's called The Comedy Shop in New York City. And she was saying that one of the managers of the club, I believe one of the managers of the club actually grabbed her vagina. Like, she, I guess, went to them and was like, hey, either a manager or somebody that like books the show there. She was like, hey, it has to be the manager, either the manager or the booker. She was like, hey, I've been coming to the club a lot. I've been showing up. I've been hanging out. I've been barking. I've been basically paying my dues. I really wanted to talk to you about how I can get more stage time. And apparently this booker or manager was like, well, you know what you got to do to get more stage time, and then reach down to her, vaginal area and either attempted to or actually grabbed her, private parts. And so she was basically outing them. And in her video, she named the club. She named the managers that she complained to. She named the person who did it. The only names that she kind of blocked out are like other comedians who maybe also confided in her after she went public and they were like, this happened to me too. Or like other comedians in the story, but they don't have really much to do with the story except that maybe their names were mentioned, whatever. And then I looked in her comments, and the comments were very supportive. And all the comments were like, I'm so sorry that this happened to you, and we need to not support this club. And people, and this, behavior is perpetuated because, male comedians just support their friends when they know that their friends are predators, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And obviously in the world, like, people protect predators because for many different reasons. But one of the main reasons that people protect predators is because they either gain something from protecting them, it is beneficial for them to protect them, or they are also a predator, which is why like pedophilia laws and things like that are not that bad. Because it's like, yeah, all the judges, all the people that really put laws in place and are in a position to enforce them, they know the dirt that they be doing, and they like, well, I mean, we can't make this too illegal, right? Because if it came to light, the stuff that I'm doing, well, I don't want to have to do this time. So let's be easy with the punishment on these heinous crimes. The reason why I'm bringing all of this up is because I think it's important. Yes, in an ideal world, whenever somebody violates another person, we out them and they get the proper punishment for that violation, right? But I think the thing about victims, the thing about anybody that has been victimized in some way, assaulted in some way, is you have to let them process in the way that they do. The way that people were sort of attacked Takara, because she chose not to share the information, like, to attack her only assaults her again. Now, I didn't see the full episode of that podcast. Obviously, the clip did what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to cause outrage, to drive up engagement. And I'm sure, like, I know BT, I know Justin, I know London. I'm sure also to bring awareness. Years ago, 2020, I did Kevin Hart's podcast. What is it called? Something Minds. But it's Kevin Hart's podcast. And Kevin, he told me, he was like, and I'm paraphrasing, you could go and listen to the episode. What is it? Beautiful Mind? What is it called? Comedic Minds? I don't know. Some minds. Funny Mind? Kevin Hart's podcast. But we had a conversation that Kevin Hart initiated, which was like about like how have my experiences been on the road as a female comic. And I know why he was asking, although he made it very clear on the podcast, because he's probably heard so many horrific stories of female comics being on the road and being in danger. Even I've heard them. Oh my God, I've heard stories where they book you and they put you in a hotel room and you got to share a hotel room with the like you sleeping in your hotel room, and then at the middle of the night, the hotel room opens and the booker or the producer or the manager, somebody is walking in your hotel room. It's like, thank Allah, that has never, ever, ever been my experience. But I know that it does happen. But seeing all of this reminded me of, so basically the story Takara told, and this is her story to tell. So that's why I'm like moving through it very quickly, because it's not my story to tell. But basically she said that she's, away at a road gig, which we all do. That's a part of our job. And she was, had a few drinks and she felt herself getting a bit tipsy. And when she felt it, she decided to stop drinking because she was like, oh, okay. But at that point, she still is like not quite in her, 100% her, like she's not operating at her 100% self, right? She's at this point inebriated, right? And so she tells another comic, a male comic who she believes that she could trust. She tells him, hey, I've had a few drinks. I stopped, but I'm feeling a little bit. So could you just please make sure I get back to my hotel room, whatever. And this comedian promised that he would do that. And she woke up the next morning. She was in his hotel room, in his bed, and she didn't have any pants on. Now we know that is sexual assault. We know that is, it's terrible. It's terrible. And Takara told it very casually, and not casually like flippant, like she didn't care, but she didn't tell it like she was looking for sympathy. It seemed like she told it like it was a cautionary tale, and maybe something that she had already made peace with, dealt with and made peace with, right? And it actually made me really grateful. And I know sometimes we always want to call out the people who are predators, but sometimes we have to also celebrate the people who really watch out for us. So some years ago, Anthony Anderson, the actor, booked me. He called me. I don't even know how Anthony Anderson got my number, but he called me. He was like, hey, Zainab, this is Anthony Anderson. And he was like, telling me like, I'm an actor. And I said, if you don't shut your ass up, I know who you are, sir. And he was like, well, I'm doing a comedy show it was either Curacao. It was in Curacao, I think. He was like, and, I booked a bunch of guys and we need a female, and like, you're so funny and I love your work. And everybody that I reached out to was like, see if Zainab's available. See if Zainab's who you want. See if Zainab's available. So are you available? And of course, my conversation is like, what's the date? How much does it pay? What's the accommodations? What's that looking like? Right. And so then after we go through all of that, I'm like, sure, I've never been to Curacao. Yeah, let's do it. Right. And so they fly me to Curacao. It's a nice resort, all that. Really, really wonderful experience. But when I first got there, it was me, the comedian Ron G, comedian Carlos Miller from 85 South, who I already knew Carlos. Me and Carlos, we met on Last Comic Standing. We had taped like the reboot of Comic View together. Ron G, I had already knew as well, because he was a comedian that I used to see on the LA comedy scene before I ever started doing comedy. It was a few other comedians there. And so the first night, me and Ron G were on a flight together from LA, right? And we get to Curacao, and they take us to our hotel, and they immediately take us to like a party, right? Like we land and they like, hey, we about to go to a club. It ain't much happening on the island. Like it was like a Easter weekend or something. And Curacao is a very Catholic like place. And so during those sort of holidays, religious holidays, ain't even a corner store. Meaning you can't even get like the hotel staff ain't working. Like they're really serious. They not doing nothing. They paying respects to like the Virgin Mary or whoever, like respectfully, whoever you pay respects to during those holidays, right? Like Good Friday, and so we go to the hotel room, we change, we get ready, we go to this club, right? We go to like this party. And at the time, I think I had drinks. Like, I think I drank alcohol. Like, I think that was during my very short phase where I was like a social, like I had convinced myself it was okay to drink alcohol, right? And so I had 1 cup of rum punch. I've always been a lightweight, right? Always been a very lightweight. I had 1 cup of rum punch in Curacao. And they were giving me, I was like, I'm really hungry. I haven't eaten anything. I'm jet lagged. Like the flight was early, but the time changed. Like I just haven't eaten anything. I'm really tired. I sipped on this little 1 cup of rum punch, and they were bringing me like this conch. But it's like, y'all, if you know me, you know I ain't eating no goddamn conch. I ain't know what it was. And I know people love conch. And I know on some islands it's so popular. I was so hungry, I tried it, but it's like, my palate can't even understand what's happening. I guess I'm not eating no food. And so I got a little bit like lightheaded and like woozy and, just a tiny bit, I wasn't out of my wits or anything, but Ron G said, Zainab, he kept checking on me. Zainab, you okay? Zainab, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I haven't eaten anything and I'm tired. I'm getting a headache and I had some of that rum punch and I don't really drink like that and, blah, 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 blah. And Ron said, okay, I'm going to make sure I'll get you a ride to take you back to the hotel, right? So Ron gets them to, like, none of the other comedians leave the party. Ron gets them to get me to take me and him back to the hotel, right? And I remember Ron just Ron is a really jovial guy. Like I remember him just kind of talking like, you good? You sure you good? Blah, 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 blah. He was like, yeah, Z, because I got away. And I remember when they dropped us off at the hotel. Now, as much as Ron, I don't know what Ron did after he dropped me off at my room, but Ron, I remember in the elevator thinking, he is either the nicest guy or he about to be the worst predator. I remember thinking that. I remember thinking he's either doing me the best solid or he about to try the worst shit ever. I remember thinking that. Ron walked me to my room. I went inside my room. He waited at the door. He said, you good? I said, yeah. He said, all right, let me know if you need anything. Text me, call me. Let me know if you need anything. But don't leave your hotel room. You staying in for the rest of the night, right? I said, yeah. He said, okay, lock the door so I could hear you lock the door. I locked the door. I went to sleep. I woke up the next morning, obviously in my room by myself and blah, 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 blah. And I woke up the next morning and I was so thankful to Ron because who knows what could have happened? I'll never know because, it didn't happen. And not that I didn't feel like, I don't believe that I felt, I think I felt just more out of sorts just because like it was all the combination. Like I had a little bit of rum punch and I'm so tired and I have a headache and I'm hungry. I haven't eaten and I traveled far. Like all of that type of stuff. It was so hot in Curacao, you know. I was dancing, so I was also like exhausted. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just really, I just really am so thankful that that I was paired with him. And for the rest of that trip, the next night we had show, you know, Ron was like, I remember the next night after whenever we had the show, I remember we had like we went to a party like on a beach after that. And I was sitting like at the bar with this stupid cute, Dutch guy. Like he was so good. What was his name? I just remember I was sitting there drinking virgin mocktails, and he was talking to me, and I was thinking, how do I get this? Yo, I'd have been on 90 Day Fiance because I was like, how do I get this fine man, but for me, this is something that really gets me going. If you a fine man and you look very clean and you fit and you also got on like a white t-shirt that fits you good. I don't mean like a stretchy muscle t-shirt, but just like a clean white t-shirt that's just kind of like, I'd be like, how do I put him in my suitcase? How do I expedite his citizenship immediately because he has to be with me? I'm sitting here at the bar, you know what I'm saying? Just flirting with this guy, right? Having a good old time. Here go Ron coming up to me. You good? All right. Let me know if you're not good. Checking back 2 hours, an hour later. Z, you good? Okay, cool. Let me know when you're ready to, and Ron may not even know this. He may not even know this, but every single time I see him, and Ron and I, since then, have done so. We live in Los Angeles. I bump into Ron at the airport all the time. I see him at shows all the time. We share the stage all the time. He brings me up. I bring him up on stage. You know what I'm saying? Every single time I see Ron G, I think I have a moment of gratitude. Like, this is a person who, I'm trying to stop myself from saying I'd have been fighting for my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have went down without a fight. But, there are a lot of people who look for, I have been around people, both men and women, who plot on you. I've been around. I had a friend in my life at one point that I felt like she's the type of girl that befriends you to throw you into the lion's den. And I'm very grateful when I recognize those qualities in a person early and have the strength, the confidence, the belief in myself to get away from them and to not see them as more valuable than my purpose on this earth, right? Like, truly. I've been around like predators, and the moment I identify you, the way I remove myself from you really, really quick. And so I always am just very thankful that Ron was like, this is the only girl on the trip. We a whole bunch of, obviously there was girls there, but like the girls that, not female comedians, but just like the girls that the guys, like, I don't want to say groupies like it's negative, but like groupies, for lack of a better word. And something about a predator is sometimes they don't want the thing that wants them. Sometimes they really, that's the thing about you know what I'm saying? That's the thing about a nasty, dirty ass, grimy ass person. Is it part of the thrill is that they know they can't have you any other way. Whoever did that to Cara probably know they couldn't have her any other way. But it's like she already been assaulted. I want everybody, I want every person that's ever been assaulted to go to the authorities. I want the authorities to take proper action, and I want everybody to have justice. But that just ain't the reality of life, unfortunately. But the worst thing you could do, and I actually understand. It's not unreasonable for people to be like, well, who was it? Who is it? Say his name. Call him out. Because if he, that's how people get to be like, you know what I'm saying? People existing, predators, they get to exist in plain sight because don't nobody say nothing. But still, if a person that has been, the victim chooses that this is something that I don't want to, I'm not going to release that information, I'm not going to share that, then that's just something that you can't then villainize them. Listen, everybody watch Law and Order SVU, most of us. It'd be hard for the victims to come forward. A lot of times when they get victims to come forward, they really be having to like, listen, he did it to this many, many, many people. They did it to this many, many, many people. I be saying he because a lot more times than not it'd be a he, but it's everybody. It's not simply men. So all the people that be getting real like worked up when I say men, that's concerning. But for your sake, obviously it's not just men, but it's mostly. I watched that clip when they posted that clip, and I was like, when I posted my little snippet from my show talking about why do men be raped every time something happens, men gotta rape. Oh, it's the apocalypse. Women be gathering food, looking for the children, trying to create, shelter. And men be like, I got to rape. Oh, now we just are free. No, it's no law enforcement. There's no, we just out here. We just animals in the wild now. Well, I guess you can't say no to me. Here's my dick. And people was in them comments. Men was in them comments like, women, And then I'm watching Takara's story, and then I'm watching this other female comedian story, and I'm like, but you got to let victims just, you have to let them work through it in the way that they work through it. To villainize them for working through it in the way that they do. And I get like somebody like Takara, she's very like confident, and it's like, and I said what I said, right? It's easy to like attack that type of person, like that type of personality. But like the essence of it is, I imagine, in a deep part, a deep part of her soul is a bit broken by that, And so to kind of yell at her for not saying who he is, it's like, it's no help. What else did I write down? I saw I guess TMZ, I don't know, caught up with like Jasmine Crockett somewhere, and they was asking Jasmine Crockett about Nicki Minaj, and she was like, yeah, I don't mess with Nicki Minaj no more. Like I'm not listening to Nicki Minaj no more. Like in this time in our lives, there's no room for like sellouts, right? And which is true, same. I can't even hear Nicki the same no more. When I saw that video and she was like, Donald, I'm like truly Donald Trump's biggest fan. I thought, I was like, Nicki, Nika. It's like, and he back there, she's like, he's a great man, and you try to bully him and say mean things. Even Trump was behind her like, you ever be trying to help somebody and you say all the insults? Like she was saying all the mean stuff people be saying about Trump, and he was like, okay, we get it. You're reminding them how awful I am. We get it. Nicki, you're too kind, but shut the fuck up. You're too kind, Nicki, but please shut your beautiful fucking mouth. Shut those beautiful lips, you rapping immigrant. So Jasmine Crockett was like, yeah, I can't mess with Nicki no more. And, most of us are thinking that, right? Most of us feel that way, truly. But the only thing that I ain't like, I'm always like, yeah, very reasonable, Jasmine Crockett. Very reasonable. Very reasonable. Nicki sold herself out, sold us out, got the nerve to always be talking about somebody's sexual assault, got the nerve to be talking about people's predators and got two of her. And after I remember I did that episode and I was like, okay, y'all, I know about the husband, but I don't know nothing about the brother. Y'all in the comments was like, y'all ran the brother's information down. And then I went and looked it up and I said, oh no. But she stayed calling somebody. Anyway. But the thing that was so unreasonable about what Jasmine Crockett said is she gonna say, I always been a Cardi B fan anyway. Don't do that. What Nicki Minaj is doing on her own is enough. It's enough to divest from without the comparison of Cardi B. It just muddies the water. If Cardi B never existed, if she was a school teacher in the Bronx, if she was a stripper in the Dominican Republic, if she was a scientist on the moon right now and never in her life spit 16 bars to some music, and Nicki Minaj was still doing what she is doing currently, you could still, it would still be very valid to be like, I don't mess with Nicki Minaj no more. You don't mess with Nicki Minaj no more, having nothing to do. It's almost like, again, this goes back to like people talking too much. Sometimes we just say one too many words. Sometimes we're supposed to say 7 words, but we say 10. Yeah, I don't mess with Nicki. She's a sellout. 9 words. But I liked, you didn't need to say 13 words. You didn't need to say 14 words. You only needed to say 9 words. Cardi B ain't got nothing to do with this. Don't even bring her in the conversation with Nicki Minaj right now. At this point, as much as they be beefing, Nicki Minaj First of all, let's not put that much, I say this as a public facing person, let's not put that much stock in our celebrities. It's Nicki Minaj today. It could be Cardi B tomorrow. Let's hope not, but it could be Cardi B tomorrow. So there's no need to say that. Yeah, well, I always like Cardi B anyway. Okay, breaking news. Cardi B is at Turning Point USA concert talking about, I love Trump. Okay. What she used to do? Okay. I can't even do it. I guess I need to hear her do it. It's like it's not trendy no more, so I can't. I can't even hear her doing. Oh, there we go. Oh, and now what? Oh, now you listen to Lady London. You ain't got to. You don't need no comparison. You could just not like Nicki because she a goddamn sellout. Speaking of Turning Point USA, Turning Point USA is doing a concert. Have y'all been to the Turning Point USA website? I went to the Turning Point USA website. I really didn't want to. I wish I would have put my computer on like some other server, like a VPN or something like that. Because the fact that now the internet knows, the fact that the ether now knows that has that I went to that, now Cookies knows that I went to Turning Point USA site, it really bothers me. I need nothing to happen in my life where they got to go and look at my internet search history and be like, damn, she was on the Turning Point USA site. I need to live some more days. I cannot die tomorrow. If I die tomorrow, they be like, oh my God, and the last website she went to was Turning Point USA. So you know what that means. I just can't. I'm going to have to research. I'm going to have to go on so many other sites. I'm going to have to go to the Black History Museum. I'm going to have to go to the Obama sites. I'm going to have to go to, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to watch every episode of the Native Land podcast. I'm going to have to, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to call Mark Lamont up on the phone. I'm going to have to try and get a goddamn sit down with Cornell. I'm going to have to do everything. Ta-Nehisi Coates, like because Because Turning Point USA can't be the last chapter of my story. But have y'all been to their website? It looked like a mega church website. And it don't say nothing. Every single thing on Turning Point USA is Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk. You would have thought he was a pastor. Everything looked like, what's that HBO show? There's something Gemstones. And it's about basically a family that runs a mega church, but they really like, everything is like corrupt. It's like so corrupt, but they kids is kind of dumb, so they don't know. That's all Turning Point USA look like. The goddamn whatever Gemstones family. That's what it looked like. Anyway, so in protest of Grammy award-winning artist Bad Bunny, Puerto Rican Bad Bunny, who is performing at the Super Bowl this coming Sunday. I believe the Super Bowl is this coming Sunday. Super Bowl normally happens. I thought Super Bowl normally happens like Valentine's Day weekend, which is next weekend. I will be in Pittsburgh that weekend, so come see me in Pittsburgh. Yeah, come see me in Pittsburgh. There was a really good restaurant that I had when I was in Pittsburgh last time that I'm going to go back to. It was like a tasting restaurant. I can't wait. But yeah, normally it happens that weekend, but I guess not. Whatever, it don't matter. Anyway, Bad Bunny is the halftime performing artist, right? And that is typically the biggest show in the world. Actually, the biggest live performance in the world is the Super Bowl, right? It gets the most viewers every single year. Last year, Kendrick Lamar broke records. I think it got 200 and something million. I don't know. It got a lot. And Bad Bunny is doing it. And I guess all the MAGA people in protest of Bad Bunny doing it, which is so stupid. The reason why it's so stupid is because Puerto Rico is a part of the United States. So even if you so anti-immigration, even if you anti all that, even if you anti people of color, Bad Bunny is a white-skinned Puerto Rican. Bad Bunny if Bad Bunny wanted to, Bad Bunny could cut off all his facial hair, change his accent, and pass, and just be a white man in the world if he wanted to. But Puerto Rico is a part of the United States. So I don't even understand what is the protest. But okay. You know, they we ain't with it. So they doing their own show. And what's crazy, it's Kid Rock is headlining the show. I don't know no Kid Rock, so I ain't never listened to no Kid Rock. And I find it so funny that Kid Rock is now the face of vomit. You know what I'm saying? He's basically an artist that don't nobody want to have nothing to do with. Meanwhile, Pamela Anderson, who he was in a relationship with, has had this new rediscovery. She I'm an elegant, beautiful woman. Forget that Playboy. Forget that Baywatch stuff. I'm not wearing any makeup. I'm showing up as my true. Truly a transformation that is worth watching. Got nominated for a Golden Globe last year, and here he go. Performing at a Turning Point USA halftime show. Y'all ain't even got no game. How you doing a halftime show and y'all ain't even got no game? Y'all ain't even got no game. I know why Kid Rock is doing it, because he needs the money, and I'm sure they're paying the money. But here's the thing. I don't understand why the Trump administration insists on embarrassing themselves. All that's going to happen is this Sunday evening and Monday morning, every headline is going to read how Bad Bunny's viewership broke records, and how nobody watched, how Turning Point got 62,000 views. And Bad Bunny got 6.2 billion. That's all the headlines are going to be. It's just why would y'all come out with that Melania movie? Why would you even make her do that? Melania needs to come out with a statement and be I was under duress. They made me do it. I was under duress. Trump, I signed prenup. Trump, give me no money. Bezos, give me money. So I did Melania. But I would never go against me. It's first of all, you ain't going against Michelle, because Michelle ain't thinking about you. And the fact that people had the nerve People had the nerve to send me a text talk about everybody. Make sure you watch Michelle's Becoming on Netflix. Make sure you drive it up to #1, and so she could beat Melania. Ain't nobody think about no Melania. Don't even mention Melania's name when you talking about Michelle. How dare you? Michelle don't matter. That's the thing. That's again with Nicki and Cardi. It's like you ain't even got to mention. Melania's movie was going to flop. Michelle ain't got to do. Michelle don't never even got to exist in the world, and Melania's movie was going to flop. Why y'all insist on embarrassing yourself? Don't nobody want nothing to do with y'all except a few people that want something to do with y'all. Don't nobody want to go to Kennedy Center now because you done put your name on it. You know what I mean? Why would you? Don't know. It's like don't nobody now you gotta. Don't nobody want to go there. A place that was once such a respected. When I used to tell people when I had just started and I had very few credits as a comedian, and I would be like, but I performed at the Kennedy Center. People would be like, book her. She performed at the Kennedy Center. Book her. Now, don't nobody want to say they performed at the Donald Trump Kennedy Center. You're messing shit up. You keep going where you're not wanted. You already making yourself rich while you're in office. Why is that not enough? Why is that not enough? Don't nobody want nothing to do with what you doing. But that's okay. You still president. You still have a lot of power. You still making a lot of shit worse. Some things you might be making better, but you ain't going to get no credit for that because you making so much shit colossally worse. And now you going for why would you even figure out a way? Now, obviously, listen. I mean, come on, Jeff Bezos. Come on. It's like just write her a check. Don't put the movie out and make it come out in theaters. So you wanted people to get in a car? You wanted people to travel from their homes. You wanted people to travel from their homes and go see a Melania movie. We don't know nothing about Melania. We don't care nothing about Melania. She don't even be standing next to you. You wanted us to leave our house and go see that when we could watch Wonder Man on Disney Plus? When we could watch a new episode of The Pit? When we could watch Abbott Elementary? When we could watch Michelle Obama's Becoming? We could watch Tessa Thompson and His and Hers. We could read a book. We could watch I'm Reasonable. You wanted me to go to the movie theater while I was on a 24-hour water fast and try to see what Melania is doing? Why would you embarrass yourself? And all the headlines read was how little money the movie made. And I'm sure the little bit, the movie cost them $70 million. It cost them $70 million to make, and it made $6 million. That's a flop. That's a flop if I ever. And remember who wrote that article about Sinners? First weekend that Sinners came out talking about, it's not making this money back. And Sinners broke records. Like Sinners was like, bet. You want to see how much money I can make? Bet. But ain't nobody. Who was it? It was like Vulture, or it was one of them publications. Not Vulture. Hollywood Report, whoever it was. A specific writer at one of them publications. But you ain't talking about how Melania's movie flopped. You want to know why? That's how little we care about Melania's movie. We don't even care that it flopped. You want to know why? Because we knew it was going to flop. Melania's movie flopping is like, it's like me coming out with a R&B album and I'm singing. I'm playing all the instruments and I don't play no instruments. I'm singing all the songs I can't sing. I'm tone deaf. I'm rhythmless. You know what I'm saying? I put all the looks together and then I decided to go tour it in the same city that Beyonce doing her show. And I was surprised that ain't nobody come see the shit. Why do y'all keep doing that to yourself? I was so disappointed. No. And I don't even know why anybody would align themselves. Because now I'm thinking about it. Like, I'm going back to Nicki Minaj, and I'm like, the fact that she would do all of that, then be thirsty enough to put her little fake ass gold card online, and then for them, the same people that she aligned herself with, for then that trumps the administration to come out and be like, well, she doesn't really have a gold card. She does not have citizen. She does not have her citizen. She, technically, Nicki Minaj has had a green card or been a resident or whatever like that for a very long time. So everybody's saying, oh, she got to be deported. She got to be like she's here legally, right? As much as she wasn't born here, she already here legally. But to post that card like, oh, like now you got you get what I'm saying? Do not pass, go. You know, I mean, do not go, whatever. You know, Monopoly, like whatever. That's the analogy I was trying to make. But. And then for them to come out and be like, well, no, it was symbolic. The card doesn't mean anything. It's just symbolic. A symbol of what? That y'all with the fuckery? It's like, and then I'm going to go because it's late, y'all. It's 1:04 in the morning. It's technically Wednesday. Y'all about to see this podcast. Like, I'm going to stop recording this and then y'all going to see the podcast. Like, I don't even think I can edit this because when am I going to sleep? Right? When I watch any movies that are like suspense thrillers, right? That have to do with any sort of like hostage situation or, whenever it's a scenario where the bad guy has the person and they're like, give me this thing or give me this information or I'm going to kill you. I'm telling you, I'll always be like, don't give it to them. They're going to kill you anyway. There's nothing for them to gain to keep you alive. Don't give it to them. You just got to accept in that moment that you're going to die. But at least you know that in your death, you didn't give them the thing that they wanted or needed. Don't give it to them. That's how I feel about Nicki Minaj. Just like you doing all of this. You doing all of this. And then they got the nerve to just come right back after you done did all of that and been like, well, technically, it means nothing. I mean, we've never heard her music, but we're happy to have her on our team. But also we thought we had her on our team because y'all listen to her. Y'all don't listen to her? Oh, okay. Y'all think she out of her mind? Oh, well, I guess she's worthless to us. Such a shame. Anyway, I gotta go, y'all. This has been Unreasonable with Zainab Johnson. Thank you so much for tuning in. I didn't tell you guys where to see me. This is where you can see me. Hey, okay, so I will be in Raleigh this weekend. I will be in Raleigh this weekend, Friday and Saturday, February 6th and 7th at the Raleigh Improv. Come check me out. Get those tickets. The link to the tickets are in the details of this podcast. The following weekend, the 13th through the 15th of February, I will be in Pittsburgh at the Pittsburgh Improv. And then right after that, I will be in Indianapolis, February 19th, I will be in Indianapolis at the Helium Comedy Club in Indianapolis, Indiana. And then I will be in Chicago, February 20th through the 22nd. That is Friday through Sunday, February 20th through the 22nd. That is where I will be. Here are the rest of my dates. Of course, I'm adding more cities and more dates, so just stay tuned. But for right now, the link is for the tickets are in the details, so just scroll down and click on that. And also hit that subscribe button, okay? Like this podcast, give it a thumbs up, share it. It goes a long way. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, bye.